Another question. Somebody said, I want to hear more about Bonzi coming up in Indy. My fam used to watch him at Ball State back in the day.
Ball
Want to hear,
State
Want to hear a little bit about his college days.
at Ball.
Killer.
Ball State.
Nah, going to Ball State was, Ball State is in the city I was born and raised in. So I'd always been going to Ball State since I was a kid.
Where is that?
Muncie, Indiana.
Is that Indianapolis?
Is that the capital?
It could be. It should be.
Is that
It should be.
Indianapolis?
Yeah, Muncie, Indianapolis. Muncie, Indianapolis. Muncie, Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
Muncie, Indianapolis.
He knew where I was going. Yeah,
That's where
he
they
knew where I was
practice.
going.
Hey, listen, I know this. Listen, I know this clown. Nah, but it was good times, man. I got a chance to, I never left home until I went to the pros, until I got to Portland. So I've always been, like, Ball State is 5 minutes from my house. You can walk there. But it was just good times. And, for me, I never got a chance to get, I never went to basketball camps. I never got to train or anything like that. I really learned my game from playing in the park. And, back then, park tournaments and playing outside was the thing. Street ball, before y'all called it street ball with the And One mixtape tour, guys were really playing street ball. So I played a lot of street ball growing up. And I played against grown men. I never played against guys my age. I never tried to, my dad wouldn't let me. Like, he was like, man, you play against us, and if you can kill us, you can kill anybody. So he started doing me like that when I was like 14, playing against grown guys, throwing me in these grown open men tournaments, playing that type of stuff. So, just to kind of get me, just to kind of baptize me, you know what I'm saying, just whatever. So,
Trial by fire.
Yeah, so actually I wanted to go, and this is just me being totally honest, I really was a big Purdue fan. I wanted to go to Purdue bad. I was a huge Glenn Robinson fan. My favorite player growing up, he was just my guy. He's from Gary, Indiana. Just one of my favorite players. So I wanted to go there and kind of play with him, but he ended up leaving and going to the pros, and they was like, well, you come here, and you can be the next Glenn. I was like, whoa.
Interesting.
Yeah, hold up.
I like the sound of that.
Don't put that pressure on me. And I just remember my dad was like, Purdue like 2 hours from the crib. Pops was like, man, I don't know if my car can make it up there, man. Back then,
if you had NIL, man, he would have had a Lambo.
Yeah. Pops was like, man, that car won't make it. He's like, man, I can make it to Ball State. I want to see you play, but I probably can't make it to Purdue. He's like, man, you might as well just sign and stay here. And
Might as well.
That's how I ended up going to Ball State. And it was a great decision for me and my family. Family got to always come see me play. I got to, it wasn't much pressure. I got out there.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. Was it pressure for you being at home? Like coming from a small community and going to a small neighborhood school where, like, yo, we depended on you to put this motherfucking school on the map to take us off.
You was a hometown
Did
kid,
you feel
right?
any pressure with that?
Not really, because it was a few guys that came before me that went through the same elementary school as me, middle school as me, high school, and went to Ball State. So we all had that same journey. So I kind of learned from those guys. And then my college coach was from Muncie, born and raised, went to the same high school as me. And he was like, man, I'm going to make sure. And when he recruited me, he was like, listen, you come here, I'm never going to recruit over your head, and I'm going to make sure I get you to the pros. And when he told me that,
You believed him?
Yeah, because my dad was like this. He was that was my daddy's partner too, so it might have been a backroom deal. I don't know. It could have been a backroom deal.
NIL before NIL.
Yeah, boy, don't get Reggie Bush now.
I do remember Coach
avoid all Bonds' numbers.
Yeah, and it was funny because Coach lived right across the street from me growing up, so we lived right. So I remember him coming to see my pops and him leaving, and my pops coming like, man, I think you need to go to Ball State. I don't know what the deal was over there.
Special handshake.
Yeah, but when
Where you get the new tractor from, Pop?
Yeah, for real. Wow.
This old thing.
Hey.
Wow. And that's how my pops talk. But it wasn't much pressure, man. It was fun. I got to because when you're inside of a college town or whatever, you're like in a city inside of a city. So Ball State has about 25,000 students. So we was a city inside of a city. It was great times. Got to kind of meet new friends on campus and still hang with my old friends. Just seeing my mother, my father, and brothers and sisters in the crowd every game just kind of motivated me, and just the community showing up, being one of the guys from the community. And when I was out there playing well, and then when I got drafted, I feel like we all made it, you know what I mean? And I used to always go home. I wanted to, share my experiences with people back at home, kind of motivate the kids to let them know that a guy like myself from the same streets and all that stuff can make it to the pros. So I've always came home. Rasheed used to come to Muncie all the time and show love to the peoples and the kids and stuff. And I used to bring people in. It was just great, just great times for me. And I'm glad I chose the route to go home and not maybe go to Purdue. And who knows what would have happened. But just thankful that everything worked out. What Coach said it was going to work out. I mean, how he was going to do for me. He told me he was going to get me to the pros, and he did.
He kept his word.
Kept his word. Coach Ray McCollum, that's my guy, Ray McCollum.
Is it bad for me to say I love Bonzi's family, but hate him.
I think that's more than fair game. It gets to a point. It's like, how could you all raise something like
Hey,
this?
man,
How could such good people raise someone like?
And it's
you know
funny,
what I mean?
my family's watching for sure. Wow, wow.
Shout out to Bonzi's family,
Hey,
not
hey,
Bonzi.
nah.
Shout out to the Wells clan.
Yeah, trust me, Pops is watching, moms and pops and everybody watching for sure.
The people want to hear some UNC stories from you, She, about your time there. A little something.
No, it was good times there. You know, shit, going in there with 2 other praised All-Americans with Jerry Stackhouse and Jeff McInnes, you know, another one of our homies. It was awesome. We took our lumps. So real quick, I'll tell you this one. Boom, bang. My freshman year. So, you know, we in practice. So I'm going against Eric Montrose, right? Rest in peace, Big E.
Indiana.
So I'm going against Eric Montrose. And so watching him on TV was different from practicing against him every day, right? So I'm like, all right. I knew Big E, boom, had the jump hook, so it came down to it. He did his move. Boom, he tried to come left shoulder with a jump hook, right? Give me that! And we started to break, you know, boom. So, you know, we feeling hype and everything. Oh, man, this at the time, it wasn't funny from my angle, but now I look at this shit 20, 30 years later, this shit was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
So, second time comes down, you know, get the ball to him. He's doing his move. And now I'm like, oh, I'm just sitting back, I'm waiting to time it. So I go to jump and block it. And so when I jump, he coming like this, and he go like this. Wow. Clears me out, smacks the shit out of me. Bow! I'm talking about with the 5 fingers say to the face type of smack. Get out of there. I'm like, oh shit. So, you know, I'm like, all right, you know, that's part of it. It happens. Like, you know, if you get a little elbow flare, you know, you don't take it like, all right, come down next time. Did that shit again.
That's just his move.
No, it wasn't his move. No, it wasn't his move. So I'm like, oh man. So now I'm huffing, fussing, and cussing. You know, I'm ready to fight. Dean Smith like, oh no, we don't do that here, and this and that. Yo, it was a learning lesson because for the simple fact, like, all right, learn a lesson on 2 things. 1, don't show the coach up, and then 2, shit, I can't show up the senior NCAA champion All-American. You know what I'm saying? So I got it at the end of the day, but boy, let me tell you this shit. That shit was a hard-ass motherfucking learning lesson because, man, I wanted to fight Big E like crazy, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
But, man, hey, I'm telling you, it was a straight 5 fingers to the face.
Man,
Repeatedly.
Ivan Drago probably would have whooped your butt, boy. Ivan Drago, you know, he had an Ivan Drago cut. He was big. He was a big goon now. Don't get it twisted.
I ain't gonna talk about my man while he ain't here. Stop it.
You know the best story you told me about that is how they recruited you when they won the national championship and.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was.
What was that?
So, I'm a senior in high school at Grass, 1993. That's when Carolina beat Michigan, you know, with the infamous C-Web timeout. My bad, C-Web.
You didn't do it. Wasn't your fault.
No, but that's my guy, though.
C-Web family.
And, you know, he called that timeout. And so, you know, I'm watching the whole game, and I'm like, okay, everything's good, and this and that. Oh, shit, Carolina won. So I'm like, all right, you know. Then, you know, they doing the whole the whole band shit. So turn TV off and, you know, go about the rest of my night. Get up in the morning, go to school, come back from school, had practice, had track practice and shit like that. So I get home about like 5-something. And at this time, me and my mom, we were living in an apartment, right? So, you know, it was like as soon as you walk in, the living room and like the dining room and kitchen was to your left and the bedrooms was straight back, right? So, you know, I come through the door, got my headphones on, you know, NWA type shit or whatever. And out my peripheral, I see somebody sitting in the living room, but I just walk by, I'm just thinking like, you know, my mom got some friends in there. I look back around the corner, I see it's Coach Smith and Coach Ford, Coach Phil Ford. who to me, in my opinion, is the best player to come out of Carolina. Many will say he wasn't, but that's my opinion. And I seen them sitting in my lap. I'm like, oh man, I'm like, Coach. I'm like,
what are you doing
what's up?
here?
Like, yeah, what you doing here? Like, you should be somewhere celebrating. Y'all just won last night. He like, nah, yeah, it was fine for a couple minutes, but we got to get back to work. And, you know, that's why we came to see you and blase, blase. I was like,
the next night.
Damn. The next day. Damn. Not even the next night. The next day, that afternoon. I was like, okay, shit. Like, you know, like, how you beat that? Like, you know, if a school, or I shouldn't even say a school, if a coach, if that's not showing you that he wants you to come, yo, we just beat the national championship. We just beat the Natty. And I'm in your living room the next day. Like, you really want me to come there, huh?
Right, y'all wasn't bluffing.
You wasn't talking shit in all the letters you sent.
Huh?
But man, but it was cool though. It was cool. You know, I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, that was an awesome story when you told me that.
People said, she talk about Latrell Sprewell in the series between Portland and the Lakers when you played. Like two different questions.
Well, my guy Trell, phenomenon. He was a hell of a two guard.
Yeah.
He was a hell of a two guard. Athletic, you know, was part of that whole Bama athletic crew. You know, he held his own in the league, but you know, of course that whole incident that went down with him and the coach and PJ, and you know, him choking the coach got him up out the league. But man, no, hey, as we said earlier, he's on scouting report. Fucking Latrell Sprewell's a monster, dog.
Oh man, killer.
Ask any veteran.
Killer.
Fucking Latrell Sprewell. You guys, any veteran? I'm not sure who asked that question, but you know, you ever run into an NBA veteran? Ask them. Latrell Sprewell, monster.
Oh man, monster.
I'm glad I ain't had to guard him.
That was my match.
I was gonna say that was your assignment, wasn't it?
That was my matchup. Yeah,
that's it.
So I had to catch him in. I caught him in Minnesota and New
With
York.
KG. So I can't give too much.
Him, Sam.
2 S's, 2 L's, my guy.
Joe Smith. I think Joe Smith was on that crew.
Joey Crack.
But man, yeah, we used to battle, man. And I thought I was a strong two guard until I kind of matched up with Spree. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm backing him up. And I'm like, man, he ain't moving.
Right. What's this?
Man, I wasn't used to a two guard that could hold me up because, you know, I'm 6'6", 240 at the time. You know, I'm playing at 240 at the 235, 240. So I'm over here like, man, I'm punishing these dudes. And Spree, he wasn't grimacing.
Wasn't
budging. Man, you better do something else, young fella. You better do something else, young fella. You better face me up or something, but you ain't backing me down. So yeah, Spree was a monster. Oh, Spree, my guy. Athletic, compete, had that look in his eye, and he ain't going. You know what I mean? So yeah. Spree was a dog. What was the second question?
About Portland and the Lakers when you played.
I mean, shit.
And that's open. That's like.
Well, ain't too much to say about it. They beat our ass every time. Fuck. I mean,
it's history. Like,
ain't too much to say about it. They beat our ass with that whole series. You know, they had the big two that we couldn't get by, no matter who we had.
Yeah. And we said our conspiracy theory, as you know, because we lost. Oh, they ain't want a small market to win all that stuff. It made us feel better.
It made us feel good at that time.
Yeah, they cheated us. You know, Rasheed, what you say? They cheating? Yeah. What he said.
I agree.
Yeah, what he said. Yeah, they cheating.
Ain't nobody else out here but us.
Yeah, they don't want us to win.
They don't want us to win it. Small market against Los Angeles Hollywood stars.
That'll get them on our side. Yeah.
They
don't like Rasheed. We too black for TV. You know, we saying all that. We saying everything possible to make ourselves feel better. But in reality,
one time Kobe got 48 points.
Yeah, stuff like that. They cheated us. They cheated us in our mind. But you know, they just beat us realistically. They was just
That's how you feel now. You can acknowledge now. Yeah.
I mean, now
it was. We acknowledged it then, but it just sounded better if we just said that.
Yeah, smiled out. They cheated us, bro. You know how the league is, man. They're not league. They ain't want us to win, man.
But we had fun with that shit, though. like shout out to my man Rube Patterson, the Kobe stopper.
Kobe stopper.
Hey,
stop.
Look. Stop. So we in the locker room chanting that shit. Kobe stopper. So Rube all hype and everything.
And we start out low.
Now here it is. It's a big game for us.
Whose idea was this? Who started the Kobe stopper?
Him and Kim.
Bonzi probably.
Everybody's nobody knows who it was.
9 times out of 10 it was Bonzi.
See, me and she was like the Don Kings of the locker room. So we always hype
Promoters,
stuff up.
instigators.
Oh, always. If it wasn't him, it was me. Every time.
And it was Kobe stopper, Kobe stopper. And we said that Kobe stopper shit, he was hype. We went out there hype, and Kobe only gave us about 45.
That's it.
It's a light
all.
45.
That's it.
Light
It's a
45
light
game
thing.
winners. All that. All that.
Look, the funny thing
Afro
about
Kobe.
it, we was talking that a couple days before, because I think it was something like we had off. So it was the build up to the Sunday afternoon game with the Lakers and shit. So like we probably played like that Wednesday or Thursday night. So we had the Friday and Saturday to talk our shit. And so we was like, yeah, you know, we got the Kobe stopper. We gonna go and we gonna beat the Lakers, this and that, that. And we started doing our chant and shit on the TV. And so come to find out, Kobe saw that shit.
Of course he did. What do you mean Kobe saw it?
So he told me about this shit out there in Vegas one year. So he's like, oh yeah, he's like, yeah, I saw that shit y'all put Rube, Kobe stopper, huh?
Bet.
All right. Man, he went out there and gave, because it wasn't Rube on his own. Again, it's a team effort, so he gave us all like 45.
But if you know Rube is a one-man gang. He want to guard my man, your man, his man. He's guarding everybody.
At once.
At one time. Same damn
And
time.
mind you, Ruben is a monster. Ruben's 6'7", 230, 240, bench like 350, 360, got no body fat, fast, bouncy,
Athletic.
Like anybody else in the league, he gonna shut down. But Cole,
Not Kobe.
but see, Cole, and see the thing is like, and I played against Rube in practice too, so I kind of knew how to get over on Rube and play. You know, I could go at Rube too. Rube used to play for the Lakers, so Cole kind of had a feel for him that he kind of knew like an end, like, oh man, I know this kid can't guard me, but you know, we not thinking that. We hyping
him?
Yeah, him. You talking about him?
Y'all walked him into the slaughter.
Man, we walked him into the slaughter, man. We walked him into the slaughter, and you know, I start out on him, and I do a good job on him, but he like, man, as soon as he saw Rube going there, it was like he just went to like that switch. Just let me turn this thing up.
Kobe
Like
stopper,
That's the me
huh?
stopper.
it was like he was
Bet,
waiting,
yeah.
like he was chilling with me, and then when Rube came in,
He was waiting on Rube.
Oh,
Did y'all set him up?
Now I'm talking about. It was a combination of both of us, if we being honest.
Please.
If we being honest, it was a combination. But it was all fucking. We had so much fun back there. But Rube really, you know, you got to know Rube. Really, oh man, you know, he talked like Mike Tyson a little bit. You know, he got the little.
He had to be a husky ass motherfucker.
BB, you know, I'm stopping BB. You know, I'm stopping BB. That guy, you know, he talking, you know, like somebody holding his tongue. You know, BB, I got BB. He's like, what'd you say, Rube? Like, you're Rube funny, one of the funniest men you're gonna be around. But we set him up, man, and we be on the bench like
set him up.
every time he get a bucket, we like, Rube.
My
Again?
fault.
Yeah, stop him. Stop him from doing that,
Stop him, man,
please.
for real, foul him, do something, man. Y'all, man, pinch him, bite him, do something. You ain't even nick him. You ain't do nothing to him. Just out there just killing.
That's funny shit, though.
Yeah, man, funny.
Was when fucking Kobe told me, Kobe stopper, huh?
Was after the game or on the way out?
Oh yeah.
No,
Just shook his head at you.
No, that was some years later. That was some years
It's still on
later.
his mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, because at the time he said it was during the Vegas thing.
Right.
All-Star game, when the NBA had the All-Star game in Vegas,
Oh, okay.
and we shared a moment. Our families together, his wife, and at the time I was married, my wife, and we shared a booth and just talking. But I remember him saying that Kobe stopper, huh?
Just shook his head
Only
and
thing I
walked
can do
off.
is
Yeah.
laugh, yo. Yeah, he gave us 45 that night.
Easy.
But it was only 45.
Light 45.
Positive perspective.
That's all.
It
That's
could have
not
been
a lot of
81.
points.
Yeah.
40. That's not a lot of points.
And I think that was during the time when Kobe was on that 40-point string where he had like 10, 12, 40s
Oh,
in a
yeah.
row.
So y'all was just.
We caught a couple of those. Yeah, we caught it.
A
Yeah.
couple.
We caught it.
Geek,
It wasn't personal.